Welcome in to Lock and Live for NFL Week 15 with Uncle Phil. Thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. I'm your host, Matt. Uncle Phil, how are you doing?
I am good, man. It's good to be back. It was weird yesterday without college football or just a lot of it. Had the Army-Navy game, and then had a had a bowl game, which those are kind of ridiculous now. Last night, but other than that, really just the Heisman yesterday. That was Army-Navy and the Heisman. Those were good events to see from a football perspective. But man, I'm pumped. Look, man, back on track with my picks. Just this week alone, had a 7-5 NFL notebook on Sunday last week. 5-1 on the leans I put out on Monday night. Then went 3-3 on Thursday night. So far, we are looking pretty good. So, like I said, I know people will think this is hype, but this particular week, I like this week better than I've liked a week. I like the lines better than I have in 4 weeks. And I love this week. I had a hard time actually narrowing down what I've got. Typically, I put 6 sides on there in my notebook. This week, I've got 8 sides. Typically put 4 teasers. I've got 6 teasers. So Merry Christmas to you guys that did this. I mean, some weeks you get more, some weeks you get less. This week is just a week that I love. And out of my sides today, I think 6 out of 8 of those could be bonus picks for me. I mean, I really, 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 really like this week, like I have in a long time, and I've done well, except for that one bad week that was just horrendous enough for everybody, right? But other than that one, and it was really 3 days. It was a Sunday, it was a Monday, and it was a Thursday, and those were just horrendous. Where I was just off and didn't see what was right in front of me, and missed it, but I ride the ship and we're back on track.
Love it. Well, 6 bone picks, all wrapped into one would be fantastic. Let's get to it. Where are we heading first, Uncle Phil?
Yeah, we are headed to do something a little bit different today. We're going to play a couple of totals out of my 8 sides. I'm going to give you 2, and really all the 8 are my best bets. But these 2 sides, I'm going to give you 2 totals are going to be my two of my best bets today. First one, we're going to Kansas City, where the Chargers and Kansas City are playing. Look, Kansas City's notoriously goes under at home. It's like 19-7-1 in their last 27 games or so. So it's really more of a crowd thing. It's a pace of play for them. They really kind of slow it down. Also these teams have been kind of offensively challenged this year. The Chiefs are scoring, over a touchdown less points than they did last year. The Chargers with Phillip Rivers, the past, I think 4 weeks, I don't think Phillip Rivers has gotten to over 200 yards passing. It's going to be a really cold game. I don't expect him to do that today. I think they're going to be trying to hand the ball off. Chiefs are going to be trying to establish a run. Expect this to go under the total of 41.5 is my first best bet today that I'm giving out. My second best bet is an afternoon slate, and I'm going to Denver. And really just kind of the opposite here. It's really the defenses that, Green Bay's defense is good at home, but not so good on the road. Denver's defense, we're kind of figuring out that Denver's defense is good, but not great. I mean, they just got walked up and down the field by Washington just a couple of weeks ago. It's hard to get that out of my mind. And so I expect, Denver plays a lot of single high safety. Jordan Love is really good against that. So I think that they'll play. I think that they'll score. I think Green Bay's defense will give up some points as well. So, look, I think this is going to be an exciting game. I think we're going to go over 42.5 as my second best bet there. So that's what we're looking at today. Like I said, really like the games today. and like them a lot. But we'll give you guys some totals just to whet your appetite to start the day.
Some totals, good stuff. All right, let's get to some questions. Got a bunch of them rolling in. How's that sound, Uncle Phil?
Yeah, let's get to it, man.
All righty, we got Grant Croner on X. He says thoughts on Bills Patriots. I think this is probably the premier game of the day. Where do you stand on it?
Yeah, look, I really like this game. I didn't play it. It's not in a notebook, and it's one of the few games that's not in the notebooks this week. But I do like the game. I think the Bills will be able to run the ball. I think the Patriots, very, very. I think the way last time Josh McDaniels did is he put up some really short passes for Drake May to complete, and were runs as well. So they kind of walked it down the field, and I think both teams will do that. I like for this game. I think the under 49 is your play. I like that one a lot. I think you can get it at 49.5 at some books now. So some people are really going the over on this one. It's also a game that my buddy who works at a casino talked to me and said, hey, this is something that we really need today, is this one to go under. And I think that's going to be the play today. I really like that one. So I'd go under 49.5. Hopefully you can shop around and get it 49.5. That's where I like that one.
Okay. Hey, Grant, thanks for the question there. Best of luck today. Let's keep it rolling. We got two questions, same game. We got Pierre, we got James. They want to know about Niners versus Titans.
Yeah, it looks like both of them are kind of on the opposite sides of it. It looks like Pierre wants how do I feel about a Tennessee upset, and then James is like thoughts on Niners minus 11.5. Look, I think that I think Cleveland's a little overvalued, and so last week's win against Cleveland for Tennessee, I think, gave everybody a lot of hope. And and Tennessee's kind of a funny team, is that like they had a really good week against Seattle, which caused me to bet them the following week, and then they just got shellacked. They rarely have two good games in a row. So, Pierre, I like where your head's at. I just don't trust the Tennessee Titans to put two good games together. This is obviously back-to-back road games for them as well. They're really close to getting a good pick, and if somehow they could secure the number one pick, that would certainly be good. They've got their quarterback, at least we think they do. Although I think he got outplayed by Shedeur last week. But looks like they've got their franchise quarterback, at least what they think now. So for them to get the number one pick, potentially sell that off and trade up or trade down for multiple picks would be a better way to build their franchise, because they've got a lot of holes in that team they're going to have to build. So not to say that they would tank, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some players start going inactive on Tennessee. So it's kind of that time of year where I wouldn't trust Tennessee to do it. Now, that being said, leads to James' thoughts of like Niners plus minus 11.5. James, I would be really excited about that just for the reasons that I just kind of mentioned. The only thing that concerns me is that just yesterday, Christian McCaffrey popped up on the injury report and became questionable. Now, he's going to play today, but it's his back. And how long will he play? Will he play the entire time? I don't know. I think the better bet is that Shanahan is such a good game preparation guy, is that you're going against an interim coach with Tennessee. I like San Francisco minus the points in the first half. I'd get in, make your money early, and then get out. That's what I would do, because that's where Shanahan, he's really good in the first half. Just a great tactician, probably the best game planner out there. So that's what I would look to do if I were you. That's how I'd play that game for both of you. I'd make your money the first half, and I'd have a nice adult beverage in the second half and enjoy watching the game.
Love it. Hey, Pierre, James, I know you guys are on opposite sides maybe, but best of luck today.
But you can be on the same side in the first half.
In the same, yeah, exactly.
You can bring everybody together. Just Uncle Phil's just bridging relationships.
That's hilarious. All right, let's keep going. We got James and Bill, another one. Two questions about the same game. We got Giants Commanders.
God, look, gut, when I looked at this, I'm like, hey, this is the Giants going to win this game. But the way the Giants gave up last weekend and just laid an egg after they had gotten eliminated, I mean, it was really pathetic. I mean, obviously, what's the edge from Penn State that got set out the first quarter? I'm sorry, I'm just blanking, but he got set out because he's caught watching porn in a team meeting. I mean, this team's just not focused. You could just tell this team just didn't care. If this is a first of the year type game, I'm playing, and Daniels is out. I'm playing the Giants, but it's really hard to believe which team really cares. Again, it's week 15. You have to look at games that matter. This one doesn't matter to either team except for the team that loses is actually better off. So, look, I don't know. I mean, it's an interim coach. They're clearly not playing Kafka. They're not playing for him. The Giants are. I don't think that the Commanders are playing for Dan Quinn either. I mean, to me, Dan Quinn potentially looks like a coach on the hot seat. I mean, they've got just a bunch of really old players, especially on that defense. I just don't like the game. I think there are better games out there. Guys, I know you want to answer, but I just don't like the game. And I think there are better games out there. This time of year, play games that mean something to someone. And this game doesn't mean anything to either one of these teams right now. Even though it's a division game, I get it. It doesn't mean a thing to these teams out here.
Okay. All righty. Hey, well, thanks for the question, Bill and James. Let's go to Instagram. We got a question from Jimmy. Jimmy wants to know, this is a pretty funny one, actually. Phillip Rivers over half yard rushing on a prop.
I would say no.
Yeah.
I would go under that a half yard. I mean, because I just don't see Phillip Rivers. I don't see Phillip Rivers, sacks don't count as rushes. So you're not going to get penalized there. But, I could see, they're away from home, and I could see them being down a lot in the first half potentially. And they're like, hey, let's not get down anymore. Phillip Rivers may throw 2 interceptions in the first half, and all of a sudden they get the ball with 30 seconds left and they just take a knee, and he's minus 2 yards already. So I would go under a half yard. That'd be mine.
Okay. Thanks, Jimmy. Let's keep it rolling. Got a question that came in about Sunday Night Football. Vikings heading to Dallas. What do you think about that game?
Yeah. That game will be posted tonight. I think that look, that's another thing is that it's another team that can they put 2 together in a row, and that'd be the Vikings right now, right? Can they put 2 good games together? I mean, obviously they just shellacked Washington last week, but Washington has completely given up. And I think that's probably what draws some people to Giants this week. Like, hey, let's go easy money and do that. But the Giants looked like they'd given up too. So again, Minnesota may be overvalued and are overvalued because of that game last week with Washington. But Dallas certainly looked like they had some flaws. And I know a lot of people are like, hey, it's an anomaly. Philadelphia's kind of struggling. Dallas is going to play well. Let's play Dallas. A lot of the bets overwhelmingly are on Dallas. But interesting enough, that line is coming down. And that's not a good sign for Cowboys fans. So right now, I'll post it later, but I'll be taking the Vikings.
Okay.
And especially The big problem for Dallas, as it was last week, is that just look at the injury report. You know, if Tyler Guyton, Dallas's left tackle, isn't playing, which he's not, it's a massive drop-off for Dallas. And that's a bad sign for Dallas when he's not playing. That's a problem. This Minnesota defense, you know, is going to have a problem. I mean, they're going to create problems. They are a problem for Dallas, and that left tackle position is a big problem for Dallas and for Dak.
Okay. So we got Grant came back. He says, "Are the Ravens cooked today?"
The Ravens and the Bengals are in my notebook. So, buddy, if you want to know, you can go to UnclePhil'sLocks.com and it's there and find out. I will say this, that I almost came, I'll give you the other, I'll take the total with you and talk about this, is that, and I feel really strongly about that game, really strongly. And that I struggled with that one, making that one, this game, one of my bonus picks, because I really like this. But like I said, I like 6 games a day. I gave you 2. I got 8 in my notebook. 6 out of the 8 I love enough to be bonus picks. You guys got 2. I've got 4 plus 2 in my notebook. But the one that, like I said, I had like 15 sides I like today. And that means sides, I mean, not just games, but also totals. And one of the totals I like is I like the over in this game. Look, I can't remember how many points they scored last time, but look, the Ravens had a bunch of turnovers. This game is going to be high scoring, even though, you know, I don't care if it's cold or not. I mean, look, you just saw Joe Burrow rip it up last week against Buffalo in the snow, and you know, I mean, he's going to throw some touchdowns. I don't think T. Higgins having a concussion is going to slow him down any. So there's going to be lots of touchdowns today. I think there's going to be lots of points. I would point you toward the over in that game. I'd point you toward the notebook first, then I'd point you to the over.
All right, Grant. Hey, thanks for the question there.
Yep, absolutely.
We got a private message that came in about the Cleveland-Chicago game.
Yeah.
Just, you know, who do you like?
Okay.
Question.
Yeah. I didn't put this in my notebook, and I know people want to play Cleveland because, again, Shedeur is kind of got this Tim Tebow-esque type following where, you know, people love him and they're creating conspiracy theories that Stefanski is setting him up to failure, and it's just crazy. I mean, he's an NFL coach. He's got one of the 32 most prestigious jobs out there. You think he's actually going to try to lose games intentionally unless his owner wants him to, and then that's a different case, you know, because they want a higher draft pick. But right now, Shedeur, you know, over the past 3 weeks, out of all rookie quarterbacks, he's like number 1 in like 4 categories. So, I mean, he's really doing well over the past 4 weeks. So Shedeur is really playing well. Got to give it to him, you know, but is he overvalued because he played the Titans last week? And I think the answer is probably a little bit yes, but I love what he's doing. He's not going to have as many wide open throws today. Robert Saleh is going to bring the heat, and you know, it's all going to be on Shedeur today. So it'll be interesting to see how that. So with Cleveland, Cleveland's playing Chicago. My bad. With Cleveland Day with Chicago, I think that Cleveland might be a little bit overvalued, and Cleveland's defense doesn't play as well on the road. I think Chicago, as much as it is 7.5 points, I kind of like Chicago in that one, unfortunately, because I typically like underdogs. But I also think that the safer play with that one would be to tease that number down to you know, me, I'd do 6.5 points. So I'd tease it down to a point. So I think that'd be the safer play on that one. So again, I think a lot of money's coming in on Cleveland because of last week. Because again, the Tennessee's defense is just terrible. I think Shedeur looks good. I think he's got a lot of promise. But I think we'll start to see a little bit of how he looks today because Chicago will take away the run, take away Quinson Judkins, and put it all on Shedeur. And I think it might be a tougher day for him. But he may surprise. He certainly surprised me the past 3 weeks.
Definitely. All right, Uncle Phil, we're about an hour and 7 minutes till kickoff.
Yep.
Any final thoughts here before we take off?
No, I just think that today's going to be a fun day. I think we're going to do very well today. And like I said, I like the lines better than I have in about 4 weeks. So again, my 2 best bets that I'm giving you guys, 2 out of my 8 best bets are LA or the Chargers and the Chiefs under 41.5. And then my other one is Green Bay and Denver over 42.5. So look, whatever you play today, I hope you guys do well. And look, I can't wait to talk to you guys at the end of the day. I'll certainly be posting on X tonight. My plays for Sunday night. I kind of let you guys know where at least my side is. I'll let you know where the total is later tonight. But guys, hey, good luck. Have a day. Let's have a weekend. Let's end strong today. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in and let's roll.